I went I went out on New Year's Eve with a bunch of my mates. We were all wearing these bunny ears and we were drinking and we were having a great time. And I was bumping into so many people. There was like people that I'd met on like a random night out 3 weeks ago. Some random girl from Germany who I just said hi to. She ended up appearing in the middle of this night. That story is just like a micro fraction of the whole night that kind of paints the image of like what was going on. I was going around speaking to so many different people, having an amazing time. People were coming up to me, like recognizing me, like, yo, Finn, it's so good to see you. I had an amazing night. This was one of my like favorite nights in a long time. I loved that night so much. But let's compare this to a different night out. It was a month ago or so when I hadn't gone out in Hong Kong in months. And I went out with my friend and we were both fully sober entirely. And we went out and at first, the first few hours, there's not really anybody out. Like it's just us and we're saying, oh, we might have flunked it and just gone to like a shitty concert. Let's just enjoy each other's company, right? But bro, we spoke way too soon. 2 hours later, like hundreds of people just started piling in. And I remember just going around speaking to all these people and people were coming up like, yo, Finn, is that you? Or I'm talking to this group of girls. And, when you feel like people around you respect you, people are interested in speaking to you, you know a lot of people. And, when those jokes started coming in like, oh, Finn, you know everybody, blah, 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 that really boosts your confidence. You start to think like, oh, I'm kind of the guy. I ended up having an amazing fucking night, fully sober. Now, the difference between these two nights, the similarity between these two nights is there was a lot of people around that I knew. There was a lot of friends, people that I enjoyed speaking to, girls who were interested in me. All of this generates this amazing feeling of having an elite night. Top 10 experiences, male experiences of all time, trust me. But in one scenario I was drinking, in one scenario I wasn't. In one scenario I was at nightlife, in one scenario I was at a concert. So the point that I wanted to make to you here, things can change around, but I reckon one of the most enjoyable experiences is being around good people and being respected by those people. And on top of that, maybe we can even add in meeting new people as a part of this joy, this fun that you can have. Now, before I get in this video, there's a few things I really want to share with you that I think might really interest you. But I'm Finn. I help young guys make really good friends and live the ideal dream life through that. I don't know exactly the perfect way to live your life as a 35-year-old, but I'm a young guy. I recently finished school. So I'm just giving the advice that helped me get to the point where I've absolutely loved life, got everything I wanted from when I was 14. I have that all now that I'm a bit 4 or 5 years older, and I'm absolutely loving life. So I go to share this analogy with you. It's not an analogy. Let's just say I went to the gym a few weeks ago and I was pushing super hard. I was drenched in sweat. I was drop setting. It was extremely painful, but I fucking love that shit. I had my music. I was smiling. Every set was fun as shit. I had this sick pump. Because what happens is when you keep doing good habits, things that are hard at first, and you continue to do it over and over, you start to enjoy it. I've started to enjoy my YouTube videos. I get to sit here and speak about the things that I'm interested in, things that I'm passionate about. And, this is what I would naturally talk to people about in real life, and maybe I didn't know as much about it when I was younger. But some guys would just randomly be asking me for advice. I'd just be giving them, oh yeah, this is the social skills advice I reckon you need here. I'm genuinely interested in that. But at first, filming was the most fucking boring thing ever. It was hard. I didn't know what to say. Now I can just speak to the camera like I'm speaking to one of my mates, I imagine you're one of my mates. When you keep doing hard things, they begin to become fun. Now, there is one thing that is the most elite feeling ever. You're working super hard, you're grinding grades, and you're starting to get a bit lonely, right? Well, I was feeling not because I was grinding, but because I was pushing the nights out, by the way, you can still be lonely surrounded by people. That's why you need good friends, because you can't be lonely surrounded by good people. That doesn't happen. So basically, I went on 2 or 3 nights out. No, 2 nights out in a row that both of them I wasn't really with any of my good friends, and I was just with some guy that I wasn't that close with, And I lost that like really happy energy for a bit. I got really sad, I had a really bad night. Out of like, how many nights did I go out? Maybe like 15 nights that I went to like a social event, maybe more, way more, maybe 20. One of them was bound to be like a shit one, I probably shouldn't have gone out on Christmas Eve. My parents were like, nah, it's gonna be dead. But I mean, I ended up doing it and it was all right in this first venue, where I had my friends. But when we went out later to the other venue, it was just, okay, like, I'll add the points up. Everybody there was way older than me. No girls there were my type. I didn't have any good, like, I was with one friend who kept hushing me away from people I enjoyed speaking to, and I ended up in a club that I hated. So, overall, it was a pretty fucking objectively shit night. But the next day, or no, 2 days later, not 2 days later, yeah. So the 25th and then the 26th, I went to dinner with my old friend and my best mate. And we were all sitting down, and at first we went sauna and ice bath, but we're sitting there, at first I felt like shit, but I just started laughing, like, I just started having such a good time, the humor was in sync. We're so close, we have like all these great jokes. And we ended up eating dinner, and I left that dinner like 3 hours later, because basically we were like hysterically choking on our laughter at dinner. Literally, it just brings so much joy. Like, genuinely, it's the most wholesome experience having a nice dinner with your friends. But the next day, it was rejuvenating. Like, I was back to like the Finn, like the same energy. You have no idea how low I was feeling. I was talking about like, I'm never going on a night out again. I'm locking in forever. But I hung out with my friends and I felt fucking amazing again. And the locking in thing, that's a separate point. I'm fairly locked in now. I'm starting to upload really consistently. I'm not drinking much. I haven't been drinking recently. And that comes when you finish like a big holiday or you're working really hard, the best thing to do is to just meet up with some of your close boys. And that is the most like rejuvenating thing on the entire planet, bro. I promise you. Now, the one last thing I want to say, actually, you know what, bro, but if you're, I just told you how elite having good friends is, how elite being that guy socially is. Well, you're probably wondering, how the fuck do I do that? That's exactly why I'm here. You might be thinking, oh, this guy's about to sell me a course. Like, I'm not selling you a course. I'm giving you an option to pay for premium advice if you want. If you can click the link in the description, or you can just go through my videos and get like the free advice. So it's up to you, but I know that because I made this course specifically so that if somebody was going to make this progress, let's say in a year, I condensed that. I reckon somebody could do it in 1 month with my knowledge though. Now I'm going to get on to my next point, but if you're interested in that kind of like, building a good group of really good quality friends, I know it's a unique thing to, spend money on, you don't want to feel like you're lonely, but it doesn't make you lonely it doesn't make you like weird to want to know how to have really good friends. It's valuable. Like, I'm a very social guy and no one thinks I'm weird for like making these videos. And anybody who hates on you, bro, they're not happy themselves most of the time. Now, the last point I wanted to make, I remember when I was younger and I'd get home from basketball. I'd play basketball for like 1 or 2 hours every Thursday. And I'd get home at like 9 after training. And there'd be a bit of food left out. And I would smash that food, bro. That was the best food ever. After fucking 2 hours of way too much cardio, I get home, I smash my food, I get in the warm shower, I'm feeling amazing, I get into bed, I sleep like a baby. Friday, I always felt good, and I could never remember why I felt so good on Fridays. But the reason was I was just training a lot on the Thursday night, and like the endorphins were staying till Friday, Don't overeat, but not with food, okay? Don't okay, if I got home and had that dinner normally, I would have hated, I don't even like eating dinner. Like, dinner was an L experience for me. It would just make me feel like shit after. But when you train and then you have dinner, you feel fucking amazing, bro. Now, this is an analogy. This isn't like specifically with your eating time frame, but I'm talking about, for me, the last month I went out partying so much that when I went out, it wasn't as special as it would be if I took like a month off and then I went on a night out. That would be fucking epic. You don't want to overfeed yourself with bad stuff, but if you overfeed yourself with good habits, like, I'm filming this video, you start to enjoy it more. Gym, you start to enjoy it more. At first, it might take a few months. Honestly, for me, I hated filming for like 3 months at least. I hated I never hated the gym as much as filming. The gym was just really fucking hard. But eventually I started enjoying it. Thank you for watching this video, bro. Have a great day. Stay blessed.